Hello everyone, welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today I want to show you a deck called Turbo Overload, where the game plan is to drop a giant experimental overload and either beat the opponent over the head till they die from it, or just fling it across the finish line for lethal damage. To get you there, the deck is loaded with card draw. In fact, you could probably split it into two parts, mainly card draw and removal. Lots of instants and sorceries in the deck to help you get there. In the one-drop slots, we have 4 copies of Opt, good old trusty Opt, to help you dig down, find what you need. We also have a single copy of Escape Velocity, which you can use to surprise the opponent if it's in your hand, and ambush them if they're tapped down with a huge Rielle or Experimental Frenzy, or Experimental Overload, rather. Token. It also makes fine pitch fodder for Thirst for Meaning, which allows you to discard just it instead of the 2 cards you normally would have to. Two copies of Shock just to help you in the early game and maybe just get that extra couple points of damage you need to kill the opponent. In the 2-drop slot, you can see here the deck is primarily 2 drops. We are running 4 copies of Frantic Inventory. A good fit for the deck because the deck will have you throwing cards away a lot, and the first Frantic Inventory is an easy one to pitch. We're running a single copy of Negate because so often, especially against control, you need something. You need something to help you get that last fling in when they're tapped down. And Negate will get you there. You can also recur it when you cast Experimental Overload if you had to pop it early against some threat that just could not be unanswered. We have 4 copies of Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, which is our primary removal spell. This can take out just about anything that you're up against early on even, because your deck will be shedding sorceries and instants like mad. So this can get beefed up pretty quick. 2 pairs of Cinderclasm to help sweep the board when the opponent is aggroing you. It being able to be casted at instant speed is quite nice. 2 copies of Fling. Because it is one of our win conditions. You can use it to fling, like I've mentioned before, a giant Rielle or Experimental Overload token at the opponent's face. And yeah, so these are also easy to pitch because you can get them back with Experimental Overload. However, you do kind of give up the element of surprise at that point. However, any savvy opponent who's seen an Experimental Overload deck is probably going to be hip to your stuff, even without seeing the fling. But that is the main trick of the deck. We got 2 copies of Scorching Dragonfire just for a little bit of extra removal. They're there to supplement the Blitz of the Thunder Raptors, and being able to exile the opponent's monsters is oftentimes very relevant, especially in the case of Anax or Solemn Simulacrum or things of that nature. We're running 4 copies of Thrill of Possibility. Just a great draw spell for this deck. Requires you to discard a card, but again, you have lots of good stuff to do that with, like Frantic Inventory, Escape Velocity, or even extra lands as you get into the late game. Make fine pitch fodder for Thrill of Possibility. So too does Shatter Skull Smashing, which is a sorcery and a land. So, like, if you pitch one of these, you can beef up your instant sorcery count in the graveyard. Or you can play it as a land, even untapped, if you're willing to eat a little bit of damage up front. Shatterskull Smashing is a good fit for the deck, and yeah, you'll be playing it as a land just as often as you will a removal spell. Moving on to the 3 drops, we have 4 copies of Thirst for Meaning. This one digs you deep down and lets you pitch lots of cards. So, just an excellent card for the deck. Not much else to say there. Rielle the Everwise. Quite synergistic, a little squishy at 3 toughness, but she basically has the same power as an Experimental Overload would have, with the added benefit of scaling as you drop more instants and sorceries into the graveyard. She never sticks around, so be prepared to fling her or try to give value as she's about to be removed by Thirst for Meaning or, what's the other one? Thrill of Possibility. Because of her ability here, when you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards, you can get a little bit of extra value off your Thrill and a lot of bit of extra value off your Thirst for Meaning. So even though she tends to die, if you have the extra mana, you can pop one of those in response and fill up your hand quite nicely. Moving over to the 4-drops, we have 2 copies of Storm's Wrath, just as our sweeper of choice. Doesn't take care of bigger things, but it will take a gouge out of planeswalkers, if not kill them outright. And, you know, sweeps up a lot of the annoying stuff that you might expect to see in aggro. Can also be brought back for another go-around with Experimental Overload, as can just about everything in this deck. This is the main build-around card. So when you cast Experimental Overload, you create an XX blue and red weird creature token, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Then you get to return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, then you exile Experimental Overload. Helps you get back just about anything you might need, whether that be a fling to finish off the game with the token you just created, or just a Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, some spot removal, or a negate for a little bit of insurance for whatever shenanigans you might be trying to attempt next. Experimental Overload is the card, and we're always happy to see it, unless we get too many in the opening hand, which sometimes happens. Moving over to the mana base, nothing really complicated here. I did not opt for temples because aside from Storm's Wrath, there's nothing in the deck that needs more than 1 mana symbol, either red or blue. So more often than not, you're not struggling for the right types of mana in the deck. So the River Glide pathways and the 2 copies of Fabled Passage are often enough to fill in the gaps of whatever you need. Crawling Barrens is there just in case the game gets a little grindy, can be helpful as an alternate win con, or just to threaten a blocker so that the opponent can't swing on you constantly for free. Also, if it's not too much to ask, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you could. I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, let's take this deck into the arena and see how we do. Alright, on the play with what appears to be an okay hand. We would prefer to have more card draw than this off the start. But we do have a lot of defense here against aggro, so let's give this a shot. See if our opt can find anything relevant. See what the opponent's got first. Clerics. Okay. I think I'll go down to a Cinderclasm pretty well. Rielle. I don't think so. I don't think we want Rielle. And another opt is okay. Thirst. That's what we want. So we can pitch Fling. Fling and Frantic Inventory are the cards that we can pitch to our card draw most favorably. Hopefully they drop another 1/1. That would be sweet. So we can pop this Clasm and feel good about it. Otherwise, I'm inclined to wait. There we go. That's exactly what we were waiting for. So let's singe these clerics out of existence. Head into the next turn. I'm going to play this out as red, because we need double red for Storm's Wrath. Everything else is a single blue or a single red. And we'll pass. We can thirst if they don't do anything exciting. We can blitz if we feel like we need to. Okay, indulging, that's fine. Alright, let's get thirsty. Ooh. Love it. So we don't want the fling in hand right now. We can pitch opt here. On hold shock. They have a bunch of little things in their deck. And we pass. It's a Resolute Rider. Wow. Okay, so that thing has the potential to go indestructible. Kind of like the idea of killing it. That is exactly what we'll do. And we will begin by closing that thing out. And taking out the rider. And opting. What a good turn for us. Do we like thrill? I don't hate it. Let's keep it. Okay, we're going to hold the island because we can pitch it to a thrill. Don't think we need the extra mana. They're probably packing removal, right? They're Orzhov. We haven't had any creatures. So, is now really the time for the experimental? I don't think so. I'm going to wait. Okay, what do we prefer? Let's do Thirst, actually. Dig us deeper. Okay, oops. We can pitch the Frantic, pitch the island. And why do I have 3? I don't want to do that. I want to keep the glide, the river glide pathway. There we go. Alright, Fabled for the deck thin. Wait a minute. Do we have... We did have a fling. I say we wait, though. We're in no hurry. Go ahead and thin out now. And pass. And hopefully we hit some decent action with Thrill. Six lands is the magic number with this deck. Okay, Frantic is what we wanted. Play out pathway so we have an even split of red and blue mana. Go ahead and pop this Frantic now. Thrill. Yeah, sure. Let's Thrill. Ooh, okay, so now we have another experimental. That makes it where we can put out the first one and not fear removal because we have a second one, and we do have a fling in the graveyard already, so. Yeah, this deck wants more red mana than blue, so let's do it like this. And here we go. First overload hitting the table. Looking for fling. We could have opted before doing the overload to make it a little bigger. That's alright. Okay, we can stop the life gain off Faith Fetters by flinging it now. Which I think is the way to go. Otherwise, it's just a brick. And then we can get Fling back with the next experimental and probably seal the deal here. Let's go ahead and opt. Ooh, sure. Why not? That gives us license to grab something else. Though I'm not sure what saves the opponent's bacon here. What do we want? Blitz is usually the safe pick when you're going up against creature decks. Let's do it that way. They might think us down. Did we just go for the lethal now? What could they possibly do in response? I guess we could find out. I guess we could find out. They could do that. If they have another one, they're still alive. Yeah, see. That's why you hold. Your fling. Not the worst thing for us, but unfortunate because we could have got in an attack. It would have been great. I don't think we need land anymore. Don't think we want Storm's Wrath. Let's keep digging. And digging. Kind of like Rielle here. But we can't play her this turn. Oh, there we go. Now we know we can pull this off. And this time it really is over. And that's how the deck works. All right. Victory. Wow, we're just getting to go first like all the time today. That's my favorite. So this is just a hand full of card draw and nothing else, but I still think we can keep it. Up against a Loris deck. Rogues, more than likely. So we need to find that fourth land. We're usually okay if we have 4 lands against rogues. Rielle. I guess. It is a threat. We would love to find a copy of Frantic Inventory. It usually is quite the bomb against rogues. But unfortunately, we are just doing them a service right now by filling up our graveyard. What we gotta do, though. Another Rielle. Okay. Rielle's gonna eat something, but if she sticks, Thirst for Meaning is really good. Okay, that's fine. Let's get that card out of their hand now. Stop them from flashing stuff in. Sounds okay to me. We're not quite at threshold for Merfolk Windrobber. So if we wait a turn on Rielle, we can thrill on the next turn and get a little value out of her before she kicks it, so I'm down for that. Opponent thinning out their deck. Looking for that extra mana. Hopefully we don't... Zarthsan would be unfortunate, but there's nothing in our graveyard except for Rielle, really, so... And they're just looking to get the chip. And the dip. Oh. Okay. Ooh, discard 2 cards. Well, we definitely don't need 2 islands, so we can do it like that. Cinderclasm can be good against rogues. Shatter Skull as well. See, this is the dilemma I have. I never want to get rid of everything, but we'll pitch Shatter Skull because it counts as a sorcery. And we got a red mana anyway. So here we go. Could get countered. If it sticks... Ooh, they're just gonna do that. Okay. Okay, we wait for them to try to kill her, then we thrill. So we'll get 1 extra card out of it. There it is. And there we go. What do we pitch? This island. Get out of here. It's too bad we couldn't thirst. That would have been a extraordinary card draw. Okay, so we got our copy of Frantic that makes their milling work for us a little bit. Like that. Okay, they're going to hate this Storm's Wrath. However, Wind Robber, they get to do their thing with that. But they were always going to get to. Oh well. Oh, they didn't. What? You could have done that. That's alright. Opponent forgetting to sack their Wind Robber before it got swept up in the wrath of the storm. Mistakes happen. However, if they lose, they'll probably be wondering if that's why they lost. Okay, let's frantic. Another Storm's Wrath is nice. Nice. We'll pass. We have options available to us. They didn't flash anything in. That's too bad. So, do we take the damage? I don't see why not. We'll bluff as though we don't have removal. Might get them to commit more stuff to the board. For our handy dandy Storm's Wrath. Okay, paying full price for Of One Mind. Looking for counter spells, no doubt. If they counter this, it probably means they have 2 counters in hand. Oh yeah, do that. Just do it. We will discard Escape Velocity, so as to keep all our fun stuff. Opt for an opt. Works for me. Okay. Once we hit the magic number, that being their life total, we can experimental, grab back, fling, and kill them, but we have to do it when they're tapped out, which is going to be very hard. Stranger things have happened. Let's start with this. This might suss out one of their counter spells. And there we go. That's too bad that we can't do it this turn. Yeah, I say we wait. We just wait. They're into the storying. Let's go ahead and take this guy out now. Kind of a weird call, but yeah, see, I want that kind of stuff. I want them to load up the board so that my Cinderclasm can be effective. They are now in death territory for experimental overload, but the likelihood they have counterspell is pretty strong. And we're about out of cards, so we might have to go for it. Oh, okay. Opponent just went all in, trying to mill me out. And that is going to cost them the game. Nobody expects the fling. They just never expect it. Much to their detriment, we just go straight into it. We don't need to do anything but draw and kill them. I wonder if they see it now. Do you think they know? Get back this silly looking guy right here. And yeah, shouldn't have done it, bro. Shouldn't have tapped out. Probably got a drown in the lock in hand right now, but GG. What a good sport. Alright, on the play, both colors mana, planet card draw, and even a shock to deal with what is probably a rogue, since they're running Lurrus. I'm down. Let's make it happen. So against rogues, you really want to get to 4 lands quick. Although white is not a color you commonly see in rogues, so let's walk that back. Probably not rogues. What are we up against here? Anyway, shock is just a good card to have when they're running Lurrus as a companion. Eidolon of Obstruction. Find target. Do we want to, though? We could thrill. Leave the Eidolon. Yeah. Let's chance it. Okay, Shatter Skull. Yeah, here we go. Now we have Frantic Online and Shock. Down to take a little damage to find out what else they might play. We might have a better target for Shock. Nope, they're just gonna grab Lurrus. So, how do we do this? We start by franticking. Ooh, another one. Yeah, let's just do this. Get rid of it. Alright. Yep, let's do this. Ooh, Rielle. Pass. We have to discard a card. Wow. I want to keep it all. I don't know. I guess the opt isn't as important as everything else. Ooh. That thing can die in a fire. Or a blitz, rather. Okay, more opts. Throw Rielle down. She may die. That'll be okay, because we can still get value out of her by playing Thrill of Possibility. Opponent still has a ton of cards in hand, though. We're running down here. Let's Thrill in response. Tough one. I do kind of want to have removal, but I'd say maybe the pathway here is the thing we pitch. I do want to have card draw available to me too. More Rielle. Do it. Play the Lurrus. Play it. Tapped out. Coward. Alright. Still got no removal in hand, so I don't want to play out smashing in that capacity. Let's put out another Rielle. There's Lurrus. What are they getting back? Ephemia? Nope. Mire's Grasp. That's cool. We'll do this again. Yeah, let's get rid of the opt. Ooh, gosh, another frantic inventory. Scorching Dragonfire gonna be perfect for this annoying Lurrus. So let's just go ahead and end the nightmare now. We'll hold up our little tricks, which are nothing more than card draw currently. But we'll make them think. It'll make them think we got Dreaded removal. What's this guy do? Okay. Not terribly threatening. Here we go. Card draw mania. Yeah, we'll thrill as well. We'll pitch the fling. We can grab it back with experimental at a later time. And we are just flush with stuff. Is there anything we'd like to get back? I kind of like the idea of getting back. Oh, what are we? How many cards we're gonna have to discard 2 cards. Let's hold the experimental. Let's just do that. I think I'm okay at this point. Pitching the pathway. We have plenty of responses lined up. Hopefully they must be stuck on 1 white. I think that's what's going on. We're gonna go ahead and do this. We are very close to being able to kill them with a fling. Here's the play. We drop it. We drop Shatter Skull. We drop one of these Clasms. We go ahead, blitz this sorry guy. We opt. And that puts us at the magic number to kill them. Grab fling. Where are you, fling? I know you're in here. There you are. And for Exaxes, we end this. Excellent. Beautiful. Even. Alright, we are on the play. Got both colors of mana. 2 draw spells and a counter spell. Keep it. And since we can't do anything turn 1, let's just play this out tapped. And here we go. 3 thrills. Well, hopefully we draw into more pitch fodder, because we're going to need it. On it with a Witch's Oven. It's going to make our exile effects of Blitz of the Thunder Raptor and Scorching not work, unfortunately. Because they'll be able to sack their creatures in response, but c'est la vie. And food, of course, makes our strategy of flinging them to death tough, too. So this could be a tough one. Let's pitch the Frantic. First one's free. Okay, more card draw. It's not a bad thing. And yeah, we just pass. We do have a counter spell available to us in case you want to drop Trail Crumbs. Thrashing Bronto, we're fine with. Whatever. Okay, we get to draw. First, let's opt. Another Frantic would be nice. In fact, oh, we can't pop it because we only had 1 blue. That's alright. Yeah, let's pitch the thrill. Okay, Scorching. And Storm's Wrath. Storm's Wrath is a good one here. Let's just go ahead and pop it. Of course, I get a food, but they are slowed down somewhat. Well, somewhat. I'd say significantly. Especially if they were counting on using that bird for ramp. Okay, there's the Love Struck. And there's the Blitz right on time. Now, that's just going to be helpful for ensuring they can't drop the Great Henge. So let's just do that now. Get out of here. However, we could have negated the Great Henge, I guess. Whatever. I like killing creatures. Crawling Barrens is annoying. So I was getting pecked to death by a peasant girl, but not much we can do there right now. Another love struck. 'Tis okay. Wow, look at all that food. Alright, so this frantic. Okay. Crawling Barrens of our own. Cinderclasm would be kind of brutal here, wouldn't it? So I'm tempted to do it. We could Cinderclasm. Yeah, we can stop the Lovestruck from attacking. We can negate the Great Henge if they go for that. And then ultimately we can get rid of the Lovestruck by experimental overloading into a Blitz. Let's just Thunderclasm right now. I want to make food. Making food all day. Our experimental overload now large enough to withstand a feasting troll king. And yeah, let's take the turn. Roll's not bad. I'm tempted to wait on the experimental actually. So let's go ahead and thrill away this fling. I do want to keep negate handy, so we're going to pass on playing experimental this turn. We could grab Scorching, or not Scorching, Blitz when we do play the experimental just to have a threat versus the Crawling Barrens. Okay, opponent just drawing lands. Making a big old Barrens, that's fine. We can withstand it. Rather River Glide, not too exciting. Shatterskull a little better. Ooh, another experimental. Alright, here we go. Trying to imagine what they might have against this. Or rather, what they might have that can stop this. And I'm coming up short. 12-12 is pretty hard for this deck to deal with. Okay, cashing in their food as they see the impending beating. Kazandu Mammoth is fine. Goes down to a Scorching Dragonfire. No problem. Alright. A Thoist. What are the odds we need this Shatterskull? Probably not that great, right? Hold on. Before we do this, do we want it untapped? kind of like that idea. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go for it. If not for all their food, we could probably kill them this turn. Alright, cashing in that food. So we don't want to use this blue. We want to keep that blue. What are we getting back? Fling? They have a lot of food, so I think we get back a Blitz. I think we do this the old-fashioned way. Scoos. And a wolf. Interesting. Can't actually get big enough to kill anything, though. That's pretty sweet. So, what do we get rid of here? Let's take that out. That's fine. We could potentially draw into another source of kill. Because we have the thirst. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Rielle's not terrible here. So, play that out. Let's just swing. Do we go with both? Yeah. Gotta watch out, though. They could kill us with that wolf. So if we play Rielle, they could potentially draw into a Wicked Wolf, kill it. But can they kill us? Alternatively, we could hold Rielle and use the Barons to chump block. That sounds better. Because they'll have a harder time dealing with it. Alright, let's see if they swing. Nope, they do not. Okay, nothing exciting here. So, let's keep them guessing, hold our cards, and just swing. They're going to have to double chump. Or sack a bunch of food, yeah, I guess they could do that. So I guess we can thank our lucky stars they didn't draw on a Trail of Crumbs. However, we did have the negate early on. But it does look like we got this. Thrashing Bronto buys them a turn, potentially. There's remaining. Welcome draw. I'm just looking for anything to seal the deal here. A fling. Another experimental. Rielle with the card draw. There we go. Okay, so we still get to do it on our terms, eh? Let's grab the fling. Yep, never mind. They're like, screw that. You don't get to. Alright, on the play. It's not exciting. But hopefully this opt can get us somewhere. We just really want to find more card draw right now. Mountain, no. We need something different. Frantic, okay. Oh, a Skyclave Shade. Let's go ahead and shock that guy out. Buy ourselves a little more time while we go digging. Another shock? No, we need card draw. We really need card draw. Oh no, we got both our flings. Yeah, okay. Let's pass. Skyclave Shade we can obliterate with Blitz if we can find one. But we are in dig mode. Ooh, Scorching works too. Okay, feeling a little better now. Scorching will take him out. Of course, there's a chance they have Village Rites in a mono black deck, which means it would be able to go back to the graveyard. Maybe they'll tap out. Let's take a little damage. See if we can get them to tap out. Triton. Okay, they did not tap out. Let's Frantic first. And do we want to do it now? Yeah, I think so. Oh, they didn't have the Village Rites. So that thing is gone. And we're not looking bad now. We have Escape Velocity to throw away to the Thirst if they don't play anything scary. Of course, we got a couple flings that are of no use to us. Go ahead and take a little bit of damage. That's fine. Alright. The Thirst is real. Yeah, let's get rid of Escape Velocity. Don't want it. Alright. Do we want to get back anything this second? I don't think so. We have an Escape Velocity in the graveyard, but you know they're mono black. They got all that removal in hand. Let's go. We'll pass. And now I'm okay to Blitz the Mire Triton. Hateful Eidolon. So they probably have a bunch of enchantment removal now in hand. That's probably what's going on. Not as good against experimental overload, but could still do it for him. Yeah, sayonara. And goodbye. We still wait on the experimental. We want to be a little bigger. Looks like they have cling to dust, so gotta be careful. Or at least I assume that's why they're digging through our graveyard. Maybe not. If they do have cling to dust, do we want to get rid of both flings? I mean, that's one of our win cons. I think we get rid of one. We get rid of one. Yeah. A lot of thrills. I don't think we... Yeah, let's do it. Because if we can get 8 mana total, we have the potential to experimental, escape velocity, and fling all in the same turn. So that's where we're going. And that's going to take a lot of red mana, so let's play that out as red. We can pitch a thrill to a thrill. We'll see if they have any instant speed removal. Ooh, we gotta get rid of that now. Before they have the opportunity to make something with it. Alright, now I'm keen to just get rid of the fling. Okay. What do we want to do? The red mana is really what the deck's hungry for, so we do it like that. Did we go for this? Let's try. Get back fling in case they want to do shenanigans. We can't really escape velocity into this, unfortunately. We could frantic, but I'd rather not. We'll wait. What could they possibly get back? Ephemia? That's okay at this point. We're not worried about that. Dead weight would be great. They can waste it. They are going to do that. Okay. We're going for maximum damage. So we can do this again on the next turn for lethal. Get dinged for 2, and this should be it, folks. Not sure what they can do to stop this train. Put a little salt in the wound. Shock their Lurus. And just go for the K. Poof. We did it. Well, that's the deck. As you can see, it can be quite a bit of fun to play. A little tricky at times. Where does it go from here? I'm not sure. I pretty much dialed down onto a build that I like. However, I have seen other builds use Seagate Stormcaller, which is something I'm considering experimenting with. It would dilute the instant sorcery count of the deck. However, being able to double fling or even double thrill off of just one discard, it all sounds really good. And the deck is primarily 2 drops here. So maybe a couple copies of Seagate Stormcaller could be squeezed in here. That's probably where I'm going next as I play with it. If you guys have played a similar deck to this, and there's any tricks you know of that work really well, or any things you see in my build that could stand to be replaced, feel free to tell me in the comments section. I love that stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.